Standard characters being on a race-up banner. That is something that we had once. It was the Keqing banner in 1.3, and some people loved it, some people hated it, but overall I thought it was an okay banner. It was okay transition between Zhao and Hu Tao, and yeah, I think if you wanted Keqing, I'd say it was your lucky day. But in this video we're going to discuss, should Miyoho make any new characters, make any standard characters be on race up, and which character do I think it should be? And of course I've got your guys' input as well on this, and we're going to discuss that as well. So if you do enjoy this little discussion and you do want to support me, you can always feel free to sub. Only 5% of people watch my videos are subscribed, and if you're new to the channel or you're just returning, we do daily Genshin Impact guides, news, discussions, and overall content to do with the game. So if you do enjoy it and you want to support me, guys, feel free to sub. But let's get into it. So if we go to the standard banner over here, we have 5 characters. We have Mona, Keqing, Chi-Chi, and we had Diluc and Jean. Well, we still have Diluc and Jean as well. That's not on this page, but those are the 5 original 5 stars that came out with the game. You can get them on the standard banner, and if you lose a 50-50 for the race up, you will get one of those 5 characters. Now, love them or hate them, they're fairly nice. I think we'll enjoy most of them around here, but we're going to discuss should they like put any of them on a rater banner again like they did with Keqing. Now obviously I think the Keqing banner was to just test the waters with the gap between Hu Tao and Zhao. They didn't want to make it 3 weeks. That's fair enough, because they wanted to keep Hu Tao a secret, I believe, and you know what, that's fine, but my main question is, should they make a standard character race up again, and reasons for and against this? Now, obviously, the thing is that Genshin Impact is a gacha game, and there's a 3 week banner period. So they'll have a banner for 3 periods, or for 3 weeks in a period, and then they'll just switch over to another banner, rinse and repeat. But I think they tried that out at 1.2 or 2 weeks to see what people thought. Now, the thing with having 2-week banners is, I feel like it's a little bit short, especially on the free-to-play end of the spectrum, because the thing with being a free-to-play is that obviously they don't really get too many gems. Like, you get your 60 gems a day, you might get a few from an event, but it's only enough to get 10 to 20 pulls during a couple-week period. And obviously, if you're getting 10 to 20 pulls during a couple-week period and you don't get the character you want, you might be a bit disheartened, because let's say, for example, let's go with Zhao, because this was during the 2-week period, so you pull, you do 20 pulls, you might lose a 50-50, you might get a character you really don't want. Okay, well, you're not going to get enough pulls during this time to even make up for it or do a 10 pull, and it feels kind of bad when it happens. Of course, we've all been there. I was there with Chi-Chi, and well, the thing is that I feel like 2 weeks is a bit short. However, I feel like, though, Miyoho are starting to rerun banners. Now, they're rerunning Venti, they're rerunning Child in a couple days, but like in a week's time, and I think that's great. It lets players be able to pick up characters they really wanted to get and have another chance to get them. Like, for example, me with Venti, which didn't happen, or let's say you guys with Child when it comes out in 8 days. But it's going to be a kind of thing where that if we're doing rerun banners every 3 weeks, for example, like this update, it's going to be a bit hard to try and squeeze in the standard banner character. But if it was 2 weeks, it might be. But the problem is, obviously, 2 weeks is a bit short, and I'm not sure if they really want to make banners that short. But that is basically how it is. And so I asked you guys some questions as well, because I wanted to know as well, what character would you pick out of the 5 to be on a standard rate up? And the results are interesting. Obviously, the lowest character that everyone wants, like the character they want the least, is Keqing. I mean, it's kind of obvious, because we had a Keqing rated banner. If you wanted Keqing, you probably rolled on that banner. The 4 stars were very good as well, so you might have rolled for the 4 stars, you never know. But then there's Chi-Chi. Now, obviously, I use Chi-Chi quite a lot, and my Chi-Chi is really useful. She just heals the team. She's just brilliant. I love her, and it's been interesting that people didn't really want Chi-Chi, but I feel like it's just because Chi-Chi's a bit of a basic unit. Like, anything Chi-Chi can do, Diana can do. Anything Chi-Chi can do, Barbara can do the exact same thing. But the difference is Barbara has to be on the field. So I guess that's why people didn't really want Chi-Chi too much. But then there's Jean. Now, I thought Jean was a pretty big waifu option, but obviously Jean isn't that wanted. too much. Like, when we're talking about what's damage, we're talking about maybe like, this is like 15% of the vote, because there's one character that overwhelmingly got more votes than everyone else, which is going to be really interesting to talk about in a second, but Jean didn't like get too many votes, and that's fair enough. Maybe it's just people didn't want an Animo character. She's a bit of an Animo swordsperson healer. Now, what I've noticed is, I feel like people don't really want healers right now, because from what I've heard, even though I don't really pay attention to the meta too much of this game, is we're in a bit of a shield meta right now. Like, all the new characters kind of need shields more than healers, and obviously Diona can do both of those in one kind of like combo. So it might make sense people might not want healers, and I guess that's okay. But of course some people want Jean, and I agree with them. I would like a Jean at some point, but just not on a character that like I really wanted, for example. But interestingly enough, the two main characters that people want is Mona, which again makes sense. Mona is a support character at heart, and she just helps people do some of these amazing one-hit combos, some big numbers, big damage. I feel like a lot of people want that, and also Mona's a pretty big waifu in the community. Everyone wants a Mona. Everyone likes how she looks, if you know what I mean. But of course I can understand that. And the weird thing about this is, with 50% of the votes, well, it's 48%, but I'm going to say it's 50% here, is Diluc. A lot of people want Diluc. Now, I feel like that's just because I don't know why. I mean, I can give reasons as to why I think why, but I won't know the true reason why people want Diluc. I'm guessing. Now, I'm gonna read the comments here. I think it's just because. I'm guessing it's just because like people really wanted Diluc ever since they first saw him in the story of Monster, and I can agree with that, because Diluc looks really cool. I mean, he's not the most exciting character to play, but I know people. I'm reading like the comments on my post. Like, people have always wanted Diluc since day one, and I can agree with that. Like, I can understand why people would want Diluc. I mean, playing him, he's not as complex compared to other characters. Like, you compare it to like a Hu Tao, for example. It's not as complex as Hu Tao. He's got some animation cancelling going on, a bit like Riven from League of Legends, but he's a cool character, and I can understand why people want him. But that leaves like the opinion of, should they make standard race-up banners? Now, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Should Miyoho make more standard race-up banners? Because I know for a fact that I know at least one of them watches these videos, right? And if you comment down below if you want it or not, I feel like it might help them a little bit if they do watch these videos enough. So comment down below, do you guys want like more standard race-up banners? Because it's interesting, because obviously there's arguments for and against it, and I think it's an interesting parallel to think about. So thank you guys for watching this like discussion video of what I think about it. Well, of course I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on it as well. But I'll see you guys in another video soon, so please take care everyone. I'll see you all later.